Hi there, my name is Abigail Morrison, and this is my Module 6, Communicating and Advocating for School and Community Needs. We start off with looking at some board policies across the state. I started off locally, and then I tried to branch out and go to some bigger schools. First off, with my school district, I looked through all of our policies, and I couldn't really find anything that was specific to the cultural diversity and communication, but they did say, Great Bend did use that we would not discriminate on the basis of race, color, national origin, age, sex, disability, or military status in admission or access to or treatment or employment in programs and activities. I then looked at Ellenwood. Ellenwood was similar to Great Bend. They prohibit discrimination against individual on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, disability, age, or religion. And then I kind of branched out. I know my sister works in Derby, and I know we have a fellow Derby teacher in here. And I found, first off, I want to acknowledge the fact how organized Derby's website was and how in-depth they were. When I was searching through their website, I found that Derby did goals, and they listed the 5-year goals and the goal each year. And so this was one of the goals, was to improve internal and external communication to ensure students, staff, parents, and community are aware of current district initiatives, programs, and opportunities that support student personal growth and academic achievement. I thought that was, by far, that was the most in-depth and easiest to find. I felt like they are really moving in a direction as a district. So I thought that was very impressive on Derby's part. And then I looked at Hoisington, and I searched through their entire website. I couldn't locate their board policies. After looking at their website, I could definitely see that overall it needs updated. But I found their minutes and everything else, but I didn't find anything that correlated with what I was needing. And then I did look at Dodge City, and I thought Dodge City was very well. I thought that they did a very good job reaching out and how they worded it. They said, "We value our families and their stories. We embrace our diversities and encourage multilingual learning." I feel like that one really goes with this whole assignment, especially with the demographics in Dodge, very large Hispanic base, and to see that that's what they posted on their website and that's what was in terms with their policies, I thought that was really neat to see. So moving on, we are here today to talk about engaging families and family engagement. How do we do it? How do we meet those needs? How do we interact with the different cultures? So how do we engage those families? Let's start off with that. Take home questionnaires. These are easy to do in the beginning of the year at enrollment. Hand out those questionnaires. Do it on a computer. Back to school night. I know a lot of schools, such as our school, we have a back to school night, and we also have a night where parents that are new to the district can come and they can learn how some of the procedures in the school, what we teach, and some of that little things that you don't feel like up until the first day of school. Our school district also does a reading and math night. This is where we invite families in, and those parents are able to do activities with their children that are aligned with our curriculum that we teach the children, so they're kind of firsthand experiencing what's going on. Invite families into the school to teach about culture. That's interesting because, invite those family members in to teach that they're saying about what the culture is, how they interpret it. And then student interviews family members. I think this is really neat. I've never done this with kindergartners. I would be scared to see some of the answers, but I thought that was a good way of really working not only on communication skills with the students, but also bringing in the knowledge of what their background is like. Family engagement programs. For us, we use the LIFE program, or we did use the LIFE program. Its name changed this year. That is where the families identified that need assistance are invited into the school once a week for dinner, and then strategies on how to work with their students on academics, their social emotional, and really give those parents the learning and then the confidence to help with their kids as well. And then use of home language. Use the language that is native in that household. Make those parents feel that they are welcome, they are comfortable. I know for my personal school, We do not have a lot of English language learners, but there's another elementary school in Great Bend where they have translators. They have multiple translators within the building, and so this would be where they would utilize those translators at every meeting. The recognition of key relationships, identify in those families who is mom, who is dad, are their step parents, brother, sister. Identify who plays a major role in those children's lives. And then local events, see what's going on in the community and try to get families to partake, families to join in on what's happening. If it's a free event, get families to start participating. And then let's connect with our families. When you have that communication, I'll be honest, I'm the first one. I will either go face to face or I will call. I'm not a big email person, and I admit that. And so sometimes, at the beginning of the year, determine that communication. And then when you're talking to the families, there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Maintain the etiquette, avoid any slang. I know that different languages have different terms, and they might not understand what we are saying, and then that could make them feel either defensive or uncomfortable. Speak slowly. That is one thing I have learned with English language learners, that you have to slow down and allow them to process what they are hearing. And then be careful with humor. I will admit I'm the first person to be sarcastic, and I probably shouldn't be all the time, but sometimes humor is a little bit of a stress relief. It eases some tension when sometimes those hard conversations are happening. Be supportive, use inclusive language, and use active listening. If that means you write things down, do it. But make sure you are hearing to understand what they are saying and really trying to gain the information about those families. And then classroom technology. This one I feel like has exploded over the last couple of years with this virtual learning and COVID. We've really had to reach out and branch out. Class Dojo, Spotlight, Remind. Seesaw is the one that I use currently. I've been using Seesaw for 6 years, and that's an instant communication with parents. I always like to call it the protected Facebook. Parents can comment, like, and view things throughout the entire class. Email, and then the text messaging, the automated text messaging. I thought that was really neat. Our school has the school messenger app that we purchased here, I believe 2 years ago, that will send out information straight to the parents' phone. And it reaches those parents that might have conflicting work schedules. I have parents that are nurses that work nights. I cannot call them during the day. They will not answer. So those text messages really sometimes are really beneficial. And then talking points. And then the translating messages, again, with those English language learners, having all those resources available and ready to go during meetings. And then why family engagement? Why are we doing this? Parents and students have a better attitude towards school. You have to get everyone to buy in as to why we're doing this. And so anytime we can increase the attitude and make it more positive, of course, why wouldn't we do this? Dropout rates decline. Increase student achievement. When a student feels like they are welcomed in school and they know what they're doing and they're supportive, of course their academics and their achievement are going to increase. Positive behavior, or positive impact on social behavior. And then family diversity becomes a strength. We stop looking at it as a weakness and we start looking at it as how can we learn about you? What information can you teach us that will further our knowledge? And then overall, why should we invest in training? Why do we need this? Teacher confidence increases. Your teachers have to feel like they know what they are, one, going to do, and two, are they doing it in the right steps? Their confidence in the communication and family engagement needs to be there. So we need to provide that training to allow them to get to that confidence level of they are ready to go in the beginning of the year, how they're going to connect with these families. And then it helps teachers be self-reflective and show cultural humility, builds a relationship, which increases student performance. If we are engaging with our families and we are getting to know them, of course the relationships are going to build as well. And everything starts around relationships with students. So any way we can build those relationships, I believe firmly that we should be doing it. And then builds trust with families so students reach their goals. If the parents trust the teachers are doing the best they can, They support us, we support them, and we are gaining their knowledge. Students have a better chance of reaching their goals and reaching their full potential. Thank you for listening. And then here are my references. There's a couple slides, so bear with me on that. Thank you again.